In the quiet heart of Amokwi village, where the red earth glowed under the morning sun and palm trees swayed lazily in the wind, lived a young woman named Obianuju, the daughter of Motsi Okoro. She was 23 years old, tall and graceful, with eyes like the calm river and a smile that made even the hardest heart soften. Her beauty was not just in her face but in her spirit. She was gentle, respectful, and kind, the kind of woman the elders prayed their sons would marry. Her mother, Mama Nkechi, was a widow, and Obianuju cared for her with a devotion that touched everyone in Amokwi. Each dawn, she swept their compound clean, fetched water from the stream, and sang softly as she pounded yam or roasted corn for the market. But, in every story where light shines brightly, a shadow waits behind it. Obianuju had 3 close friends, Amora, Oluchi, and Ifunanya. They were known across the village as Umu Oma, the beautiful ones. They did everything together, fetched water, danced at festivals, even shared secrets under the moon. But the heart of a friend is like the surface of a river, you never truly see how deep it runs. Among the 3, Amara was the most ambitious. Her beauty was striking, but her heart carried a silent restlessness. Each day, as they walked through the market square, Amara noticed how the young men's eyes followed Obianuju, how they greeted her with smiles and offered her fruits. And though Obianuju never flaunted her charm, Amara's envy began to grow like weeds choking a field. Then, one evening, a strange thing happened in the village. The priestess of Idemalai, the great river goddess, came out of her shrine, something she hadn't done in years. Her body was wrapped in white cloth, chalk markings traced across her skin, and her staff shimmered faintly in the sunlight. Her eyes seemed to see beyond this world. She called the maidens of the village to gather in the square. Her voice echoed like thunder against the hills. The goddess seeks a maiden of pure heart, she declared, one who will carry her spirit and bring peace to our land. There was silence. Then murmurs. Mothers urged their daughters forward. Among them was Mama Nkechi, who gently took Obianuju's hand and whispered, "Go, my daughter. You are good, and goodness is what the gods love." That night, under the silver moon, the maiden stood beside the river Idemalai. The air was heavy with incense. They wore white wrappers, beads around their necks, each holding a small calabash filled with water. The priestess walked slowly before them, chanting in a deep, rhythmic tone that made the trees shiver. When it was Obianuju's turn, something changed. The river stirred. The wind sighed. A light began to rise from the water, bathing her face in gold. The priestess gasped and dropped to her knees. "Idemalai has spoken," she said. "The chosen one is Obianuju, daughter of Okoro." Cheers filled the air. Drums thundered. Women ululated. Men danced. The villagers lifted Obianuju onto their shoulders, singing her name like a blessing. But not every smile that night was sincere. Amora stood among the crowd, her heart burning. Her jealousy turned to bitterness. That night, she sat awake in her hut, her eyes fixed on the flickering flame of an oil lamp. Oluchi and Ifunanya joined her, trying to calm her anger. "Amora," Oluchi said softly, "Obianuju did nothing to wrong you. Why do you hate her?" Amora's lips trembled. "Because she took everything, the love, the praise, the honor that could have been mine. You think I will sit and watch her bask in the goddess's favor while we fade away?" The 2 girls were frightened, but Amora's words pierced their hearts like thorns. She went to a small basket and drew out a dark calabash, smaller than a handspan, decorated with strange symbols. That evening, they lured Obianuju to the riverbank under the pretense of fetching water. When she bent down, Amora struck her with a calabash, and the others pushed her into the river. The water swallowed her with a cry. "Let her drown," Amora whispered. Now the goddess would choose another. But the river didn't swallow Obianuju, it protected her. In the darkness, she felt unseen hands carry her deep beneath the water into a glowing world filled with spirits. There stood Uhameri, the goddess of the river, tall, radiant, with eyes that held both kindness and power. "My child," she said, "you have been wronged by those you called sisters. But your heart is pure. You shall rise again not for revenge, but for truth." When dawn came, the villagers found Obianuju by the riverbank, alive and shining like new water after rain. The people gasped and knelt. But Amora trembled. She had buried her guilt but not her fear. From that day, strange things began to happen in Amokwi. Amora's sleep was filled with nightmares. She saw a glowing calabash floating outside her window every night, whispering her name. Her mother became sick, her farm dried up even in the rainy season. The villagers began to whisper, "The river remembers." Meanwhile, Obianuju lived quietly, avoiding her old friends. But she noticed that wherever she went, the river's reflection followed as if protecting her. When the priestess called for cleansing rituals, she revealed the truth. The goddess has spoken. The river is angry because of a betrayal among sisters. Let the guilty confess before the moon grows full, or the land shall weep. Amora's heart burned with pride and fear. She kept silent, but the goddess does not sleep. The moon rose full and red. The river swelled and roared like thunder. The priestess called the maidens to gather at the riverbank, each holding a calabash of truth. Obianuju stepped forward, her calabash glowing softly. Amora trembled, clutching hers, but when she lifted it, blood flowed instead of water. The people gasped. The priestess shouted, "The goddess has revealed the betrayer." Lightning struck the river. The wind howled. Amora fell to her knees, crying, "Forgive me. It was envy. I wanted her place." But it was too late. The river rose, and a glowing serpent encircled her. With one flash of light, she vanished, swallowed by the waters she had defiled. The storm calmed. The priestess touched Obianuju's shoulder. "The goddess says peace has returned. You, child, are now the keeper of the river's truth." And so, the calabash became a symbol in Amokwi, a reminder that truth may be delayed, but it cannot be drowned. Betrayal may wound the flesh, but truth heals the soul.